Confirmed by the president and Chuck Schumer on the stimulus package. I have all the details for you in this video, so let's get into it right away. But if you haven't done so yet, or if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video so I can keep you updated each and every day with all of this information that continues changing every single day. I know it's incredibly confusing out there trying to keep everything straight as far as what is actually going on, but don't worry, I'm doing all the research on your behalf, and I distill it all down into these condensed videos, which I deliver a few times every day so that you can stay tuned with all the latest details as they are being released. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate your support. Hit that subscribe button right down below the video, and let's get into this right away. All right, so it has been a very busy day already, and it's not even half over yet, or I suppose it's about half over by now. But it has already been a very busy day, and we've got a lot to talk about, so let's get into the latest updates on the stimulus package as of right now. So, late yesterday evening, the president was out with a note talking about the stimulus package and saying that it's likely going to be delayed beyond the actual deadline that was self-imposed by Chuck Schumer. Well, that was yesterday evening. Well, as of today so far, we have now had confirmation from Chuck Schumer that yes, in fact, we will likely be missing the deadline of Christmas Day to actually pass the stimulus package. However, they have also confirmed that they will continue working through the coming days and weeks on this package until it is passed. Now, here's the thing. We don't know when this will actually be passed, whether it's going to be another couple days here, whether it's going to be another week, whether it's going to be another month or another 3 months. We have no clue at this time right now. These guys have not confirmed when it will actually be passing. They've simply just said, we're going to miss the deadline. Now, here's the thing. The deadline is about a week from now, right? So, yeah, of course they're going to miss it. Now, here's another thing, too. A lot of people are going to point the finger at Joe Manchin. And again, just to make it totally clear, I'm not here to defend Joe Manchin in any way, shape, or form. I'm not here to say anything about anybody necessarily, but rather let's just look at all the facts and everything that we do know. Yes, Joe Manchin has held things up a little bit. We can recognize that. But at the same time, to be totally fair, this week, Chuck Schumer was supposed to be bringing, way back on Monday, this stimulus package to the floor in the Senate and opening it up for debate. He never did it. So who can we really blame here? Again, I'm not here to point the finger at anybody in particular. I'm just simply saying a lot of people are blaming Joe Manchin for all this, but really, Chuck Schumer never even brought it to the floor to open it up for debate. And remember, they were supposed to open it up for debate so that they could actually see what is going to be in the package, what is it going to look like, and everything like that. Well, throughout this week, we've had a number of different lawmakers in the House, in the Senate. We've had a number of different people coming out urging Chuck Schumer to just bring the bill to the floor, open it up for debate, and hold a vote on it. Well, he never did that either. So, again, we've had multiple different ranking Democrats come out and really push on Chuck Schumer and say, hey, just bring the bill to the floor. Let's hold a vote on it. Let's just see if this thing can even hold water or if it's just going to fail right away. And that never even happened. So we did also hear from the Senate parliamentarian yesterday as well, where she also denied allowing immigration to be added into the bill for the third time. So she said for the third time now, sorry, you can't have immigration in the bill. So once again, that needs to be removed out of there. So as you can see here, it's not only Joe Manchin, it's not just Chuck Schumer, it's nobody in particular, but yet the work on this bill is not completed yet. They still have a lot of work on this thing to do, and they're trying to rush the process and trying to get it done before it's actually ready to be done. Now, again, of course, we all want it to get done as quickly as possible, but this is kind of what we're looking at here. However, the president has confirmed, as well as Chuck Schumer, as Nancy Pelosi was in on this as well, and they've all agreed we're going to continue working in good faith to get this bill done as quickly as possible. And ultimately, they plan on getting it done soon, right? Again, they did not put another deadline on this thing, but ultimately they say they're going to get it done as soon as possible. And again, we don't know if that's going to be this coming week, if it could be the week after, or whenever it's going to be done, but they've just confirmed it will be done. It's just a matter of time now. However, we do have people like Pramila Jayapal, who is the leader of the Progressive Party in the, or the Progressive Caucus, I should say. It's not like its own individual party, but rather it's like the Progressive Caucus, right? Like the group of progressives. It's almost 100 members in the House of Representatives, and she's the leader of it, and she was actually out saying, we need to continue working through the holidays holidays and just get it done already. So, of course, that's not an exact quote, but she essentially was saying, we need to continue working through the holidays and we need to get this bill done. So that's not only her. We've had a number of different people saying, we need to continue working on this thing. In fact, about 2 weeks ago or so, we had a number of different lawmakers that were coming out in different interviews and reports saying, reporters were asking them, when do you think you're going to be going home? And these lawmakers were even saying, never. We're not going home for the holidays. We're going to continue staying here working. So we'll see what actually happens when it comes to this package, and do they actually hit the road? Or do they stay here and continue working? Do they work remotely? Do they continue negotiating? One thing we do know is that the president and Joe Manchin will continue their negotiations and their kind of back and forth on this package to see where they actually sit. But here's what we do know. Joe Manchin was just out the other day with a statement and said he is still in support of his top line number of $1.75 trillion. Well, he mentioned that way back in the summer, months and months and months ago. He mentioned this $1.75 trillion figure, which actually came up from his initial number of $1.5 trillion. Well, the package has actually gone up to about $2.2 trillion as it currently sits right now, because that's what was passed through the House a few weeks ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago now. It passed through the House at that $2.2 trillion number. Well, again, it's getting a little bit above where Joe Manchin said. And again, I'm not saying that this all revolves around Joe Manchin. I'm just simply saying we got to watch what he's saying, because ultimately they need his vote. So whether you agree with him or not, and I'm not saying that I agree with him or not anyway, I'm just simply saying we've got to watch what he says, because it all comes down to every single Democratic senator, right? We need every single one of their votes to get this thing through. 50-50. We need every single vote. That's why it matters so much. So there's a lot to do on this package still. So who knows when they're going to actually get this thing done. But either way, they will continue working on this. And one more quick note I do have to mention as well. Yesterday in one of my videos, yesterday morning, I talked about that new package that was just announced as well. So one of the Democratic progressives, Jamal Bowman, also came out and announced that he wants another COVID relief bill. And remember, COVID relief bills contain stimulus checks. So we'll have to see. Maybe they just put this whole Build Back Better agenda, otherwise known as the spending bill, the anti-poverty plan, the human infrastructure, the soft infrastructure, there's so many different names that they've given it, but it's all essentially the exact same thing. Maybe they'll just put this one on the back burner for a little while, and maybe they'll just open up the books on a brand new COVID relief bill, considering everything going on right now. COVID spreading like wildfire going out there right now. States are just feeling like a lot of really surging cases and everything. So maybe they start to look at this situation and all of this COVID going around everywhere, and going into the winter and all these colder months and the holidays, people gathering, things like this. And if we all of a sudden see a huge surge in cases once again, they might pivot on this whole thing and go into another COVID relief bill and just say, hey, let's just forget about the Build Back Better for a minute. Let's put it on the back burner and let's just focus on another COVID relief, because if this thing leads to more business closures or unemployment or people being laid off, furloughs, business just straight up closures, bankruptcies, evictions, all kinds of stuff. There's so many different things. Basically, look at what happened in, let's just call it the entire year of 2020 and early 2021. What happened then? Well, basically everything that happened then could be potentially happening once again as a resurgence of all of these new strains of COVID and everything. Now, again, I just want to make it very clear. I'm not here to instill fear in anybody in any way, shape, or form. But rather, we got to look at the big picture and think, what is actually going on? What is happening? This is happening. It is a real thing. It is happening, right? So we just got to watch all this stuff very closely, because we need to see what are the what are the implications for the economic impacts to all of this COVID business. And if there's going to be something negative coming in, well, that's when they implement all of these COVID relief bills to help out everybody and all of these businesses and the economy as a whole when all of this starts happening. So you see how all of this is intertwined? And if the economy starts to possibly get hit with everything going on because of this COVID business, we may be looking at an additional possible stimulus checks or anything like that, simply because the whole purpose behind that is to do what? get stimulus money into the hands of the people so they can spend it on the things that they need and ultimately stimulate the economy, right? So it's like, once again, a big circle. The government sends out money to us with the intentions that we go out and we spend it, buying the things that we need, and ultimately that stimulates the economy, bringing it back. So it's all one big economic circle. That's why they continue doing that, right? So we got to watch all this stuff very closely. And I know a lot of times we don't want to talk about the economy. We don't want to talk about COVID. We don't want to talk about businesses and the stock market and stuff like that. I get it. A lot of you here in the community don't want to hear about that stuff. I totally agree. We don't want to focus on all that stuff very much either. But we do need to watch it very closely because it's all intertwined so closely that one piece of the puzzle, one domino, if it falls, it may take down the whole train, right? So it's why you got to watch all this stuff very closely. So anyway, confirmed by the president, confirmed by Chuck Schumer. Nancy Pelosi was in on this as well. But basically between the leaders and the president, they pretty much all kind of agreed that, yep, it's just not going to happen by the deadline. We'll continue working on this actively, the stimulus package, the Build Back Better agenda. They'll continue working on this thing actively, and the whole purpose of this is to get it passed as soon as possible, but yet probably not by their deadline of Christmas Day. So, Chuck Schumer has said they're going to continue working on it this coming week. So, yeah, we'll have to see what actually happens. But either way, I want to bring you the latest updates and just let you know what is actually going on with this thing. It's not a done deal. It's not over. It is not over by any means at all. It'll continue to go on, and ultimately it will pass. We all know that by now, right? I think we've been watching this long enough. We know that it's going to pass. It's just a matter of when and what is it actually going to include, and will it possibly be replaced shortly by a COVID relief bill, a stimulus package, a straight up stimulus package versus an anti-poverty plan, a human infrastructure plan. That's what the Build Back Better is, versus a COVID relief bill, which would just be straight up stimulus, right? So anyway, I'll continue watching everything closely. I wanted to give you a quick midday update and let you know what's going on. As of right now, there's a lot more going on out there, so make sure to stay tuned by hitting the subscribe button right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'll continue to be here for you each and every day with these condensed videos, bringing you all the latest updates, as much information as I can, packed into these short videos, because I want to help you out in any way that I can, as well as make sure that you're staying tuned with all of these updates as they are happening in real time. So again, thanks so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe down below. I am your one and only daily advocate. Regardless of what the other guys say, I'm the first guy that coined that phrase. So yeah, anyway, I really appreciate your support, so thanks so much for being here. Subscribe, share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,000 videos right here on the channel. And of course, feel free to share those ones as well with your friends, family, and social media. A lot of really good stuff here and a lot going on right now. So enjoy your day. I'll catch you again later in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay warm, and of course, stay tuned by subscribing down below. All right, I'll catch you later.